Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to front desk training. We're going to get started here in a couple minutes, and what we're going to be doing is going over the script for the front desk that you guys have. So you should have the script available to you. If you don't, for some reason, just let me know, and we can get a copy of it. For your office, but you should have everything that you need as far as for answering the phone. And this is specifically talking about an inbound phone call into your office. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to get started just in a few minutes. I want to just do some things as far as to go over quickly with you. The purpose of this call is to get more patients that call your office on the book. And that might sound easy enough, but really it's not, because you're going to have a lot of people that ask you all kinds of questions about insurance. You're going to have people that ask you about what kind of things your doctor treats. Are you open on the weekends? Like, all these different things come up, and you guys have got to have the tools to be able to handle the questions appropriately. So I want to make sure that you guys have everything that you need in order to get the more people on your book scheduled as a patient, and that's the purpose of the call. So again, you should have a login. Your login gets you into the training, which is the training for the front desk scripting. So you should have that login. If you don't have a login, just make sure you let me know, and I can get you that. So you can get in and do the training. The training is real simple. It's a set of videos that you guys go through. You watch each one, and I have the topics on there from your tone of voice and how to be more upbeat when you answer the phone, and the importance of that. And then also we have videos on there on the closing and how we want to confirm that appointment before we get the caller off the phone. So what you want to do is make sure that you first step is to get through that training. I really want to go over the purpose, because I believe whenever we're talking about doing something, we should really know why it is that we're doing it. If we know why it is that we're doing it, it gives us more tools to be able to do it correctly. So when you think about it, we want our phone to ring as a business, as a chiropractic office, as a weight loss clinic, whatever we want our phone to ring, and we put stuff out there in order to get the phone to ring consistently. And in some instances, it costs lots of money to get that phone to ring. So when we put advertisements out there and we want the phone to ring, when the phone rings, we want to make sure that we handle it correctly. And the phone script is going to give you everything that you need in order to get that caller that calls in order to get them on the book and get them as an appointment. So the first thing that I want to talk to you about today is the script and why it's designed the way it is designed. What we want to do is we want to get into control of the conversation as quickly as possible, because if we don't have control over the conversation, well, then the caller does. Because when you have two people that are on the phone, one is in control and the other one is being controlled. So we just want to make sure that we take good control of the conversation, and patients want that. They want assistance in getting into the office. We can't help them unless they get in and they have an appointment and they're coming in to see us. So we want to take good control over the conversation. In order to do that, there's steps that we take, and there's scripting involved here. And I want you guys to make sure that you understand the importance of following the script. So this script was designed, it works in lots of offices. It was designed to give you guys the tools in order to get the product, which is the person scheduled. So, use it. I always say this: if someone designs something that is designed to work, a large percentage of the time, and we know it works across the board in many different offices under many different situations, then my theory is this: follow what is working. Don't make up something on your own. So I want to make sure that you guys understand the importance of duplication and making sure that you're doing exactly what the script says. Each word and each line was written for a purpose, and you want to make sure that you're duplicating each line on the script. And I think the training even goes into and talks to you guys a little bit about duplication. So if you haven't done the training, make sure you do the training. It only takes, I think, maybe an hour to get through all the videos, and there's some exercises and things like that. But it really helps as far as to get you prepared and ready for a call. So we want to talk about duplication, and we want to talk a little bit about how you should be as far as your tone of voice, because if you're answering the phone and you're in charge of new patients coming to the office, and when someone calls, you sound scattered or you sound bored or tired, it's not going to motivate that person on the other end of the phone to come in and see you. So you just want to handle that. You want to make sure that you have a good tone of voice. And I've been doing this for many years, and I've worked with many, many people. And the people that are successful with the phone script are those people that are very, very excited to answer the phone. You know, they kind of prepare themselves in a way where they think to themselves, okay, I'm getting somebody that's going to call in. They need our help. I know exactly how it is and the steps to take to get them scheduled for an appointment. And I have all the words here, and I'm going to deliver this script the best way I can each time. So I kind of compare it to if you were in a play and someone says, these are your lines. And then you started to make up stuff and you started to say, well, I kind of felt like the character should say this and should say it in this tone and not use those words. Well, the director would say, you're nuts, and fire you, right? So you just want to make sure that you know there's a purpose behind the words, there's a purpose behind the script, and it's to help you. As a front desk person, you have many, many things that you guys are doing, many tasks that you're involved with. You have patients coming in asking you questions. You have patients leaving asking you questions. You're taking payments. You're handling photocopies. You guys got a lot of things that are going on that are flying around. So my thought with this is make sure that you have this in and you have a script there so you can handle that caller, get them scheduled, and get back to all the other random things that are going on in your front desk. You guys should be very appreciated. It's a tough job. It's an important job. When you talk about the front desk, handling all the inflow of patients, the outflow, phone calls coming into the office, making sure that you're creating and delivering the right communications and sending the emails and things like that. And we have some training too, specifically designed for front desk. If you guys want some help with that, just let me know. But the script is the one piece, and it's so important that we're going to be dedicating this 15 to 20 minutes every other Tuesday at 1:30 just to go over it and just to practice it and help as far as with different things that come up, different questions that you get. This is interactive, so you'll be able to send me an email and say, hey, Dr. Rob, and just reference the front desk script training call and just say, hey, Dr. Rob, I ran into this. This came up. I'm having problems here. And we can talk about it and we can go over it in the call today or, on Tuesdays when we do this call. So what I want to do is I want to start with that. And we talked about duplication, how important it is for you guys to say what's on the page. And then the other idea is you can have the script there and you can be reading it. You don't have to memorize it, but don't sound like you are reading it to the patient on the phone. You want to say it in a way that you're not reading it. So I'm looking up on my computer here and I see, welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. So I just read that. So if I had it in front of me and I wanted to say it in a way that I didn't sound like I was reading it, I might say this. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. I would work on delivering it in a way that doesn't sound like I am reading it like this. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So you're going to have the script in front of you. I want you to practice it to the point to where you can say it. And you can say it and deliver it in a way that it feels like it's your own each time, but you can have the sheet there. I would always have it right there by the phone and tell people, here it is, pick it up, make sure you duplicate it correctly. I would rather you sound like you're reading it rather than just, come up with stuff on the fly. So, but work on, getting it to where you're delivering it each way as it's your own. That's very, very important. So, for instance, the first line of the script, and we'll get into that a little bit today, it's going to be something like, "Hello, thank you for calling the office of Dr. Miller. My name is Rob. I can help you," something like that. Each script might be a little bit different. They're designed for your office, but you guys know that first line of the script and what it is for your office. So you're going to say something like that. "Hello, thank you for calling the office of Dr. Miller. My name is Cindy. I can help you." So then once you deliver that line, the caller is going to say anything. They may say what kind of insurance you take. They might say, "Are you open on Saturdays?" They may say, "Does the doctor do a certain type of care? Do you help with herniated discs?" The list is very long. And even if they say something that's bizarre, like, "Do you have cotton candy there?" I don't care how bizarre or what they say. The next line is going to be, "With whom am I speaking to, please?" And I want to make sure that you guys know the importance of this line, because it sets the stage for where the call is going to go and how it's going to go. Because if you don't get this correct, you're going to lose control of the conversation, and you're going to lose control of it very quickly. And sometimes it's hard to get it back. So it's very tempting, because sometimes a patient would say, "I want to schedule an appointment." And it's very tempting to go right into scheduling. If you say, "Hey," or "Hello, thank you for calling the chiropractic office of Dr. Miller. This is Cindy speaking. How can I help you?" And they say, "I want to schedule an appointment." "Oh, well, what day would you like?" You go right into that. But I don't want you to be tempted by anything. Because the next thing that you want to say is, "With whom am I speaking to?" Because what this is going to do, it's going to put you in control of the conversation. And that's what we want. We want you to have control, because we want you to be able to schedule the patient as quick as possible, getting them on the books for the doctor, and then move on to something else. And that's the way you're going to do it. So I stress that next thing that you're going to say is very, very important. "With whom am I speaking to, please?" So make sure you're saying that. The next thing after that, because they're going to give you their name, because if you ask them with whom am I speaking to, they're going to say, "This is Bob Jones," or "This is Cindy," or "This is Tammy." So then the next question is, "Tammy, have you ever been to our office before?" So here we're asking two questions back to back of this person, and they're answering, and we're asking the questions. So what this does is it gets you into a position where you're asking questions. You're not giving answers, you're asking questions. Again, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are doing this in a professional manner. We sound upbeat. We sound happy, and we sound very, very professional when we deliver these first two lines of the script. If you guys do this very well, you're going to get the majority of the people to go into scheduling at this time. That's what I call sort of going down the scheduling road. So when you deliver those first couple lines, you're going to get a person that's going to, kind of move right into scheduling with you. So when you say whatever they say, you answer the phone, you're going to be the first person. "Hello, thank you for calling the office of Dr. Miller. This is Cindy speaking," or "This is Rob speaking. How can I help you?" And they're going to say whatever. Right? It doesn't matter what time you open till. "Do you do this treatment? Do you guys take this insurance?" "Oh, with whom am I speaking to, please?" And then they're going to say, "This is Cindy Jones." And you're going to say, "Oh, hi, Cindy. Have you ever been to our office before?" And they're going to say, if they're a new patient, no. Right? So this is where you're qualifying the person, and you're finding out if they're new or if they have been to your office before. If they've been to your office before, then they're going to say, "No, I've been there," and then you're going to handle that person correctly. If it's reactivation, or if it goes on to the exam side of your schedule, whatever. If they say they haven't been to their office before, they're identifying themselves as a new patient. So this is when you turn and you go into scheduling. So let's go back, and we're going to go over the first couple of things first. It's always your greeting. "Hello, thank you for calling the chiropractic office of Dr. Johns. This is Rob speaking. How can I help you?" Then the next thing that you're going to do after they respond is you're going to say, "With whom am I speaking to, please?" They're going to tell you who they are. And then you're going to say, "Have you ever been to our office before?" and they're going to identify themselves as a new patient. So this is where we're at the moment, is we identified this person that's on the phone in front of us as a new patient. So we want to move into scheduling next. So I just want to back up. Do you see how this is going? It's putting you in control of the conversation. And that's what we want to do. And that's why this script is designed the way it is. And that's why it's paramount to be able to do this and to do it well, to getting a new patient in your office and on the book. It's so important. I can't stress this to you enough. In some offices, when the phone rings, that person on the other side could cost the office $50, $75, $100. I'll tell you a quick story. Years back, I was doing some nutrition in my office. I had a program that was in, and basically what I was doing is I was paying per lead that called my office, and that's the way it was set up. Now, most advertising isn't really set up like that. However, what you have to think about when it comes down to when that phone rings, it does cost the office something. So if we throw out and we do postcards, we're doing Facebook ads, and somebody on Facebook sees our number and calls, well, that ad costs something. So that phone call has cost the office something. So you want to take the opportunity there to get that person scheduled, and you don't want to let them go off the phone with just asking you a bunch of questions, or you're busy and you can't handle it, and you refer them to the website. That's lost income for your office. So I want to make sure that you guys understand how important it is to get that caller scheduled and in your office. And we give you the tools here to do that. So we talked about the first couple lines. I just want to go over that really quickly. And then make sure that you put on your calendars next 2 weeks from today is going to be our call to pick up and go over some of the different techniques and things with the phone script. So it'll be 2 weeks from today that you guys want to be here live. We will send out a recording of this so you guys can listen back to it and go over these things. But it's extremely important. I can't stress it enough. Those first 3 lines will make or break the phone call. I always say this, that if you deliver those first 3 lines and you're professional about it, and you make the caller want to schedule, you'll save yourself a boatload of time, and you'll get a large percentage of people that go right into scheduling. So just to go over that, the importance of your attitude, your ability to be in a good mood and sound great and be attentive on the phone is extremely important. You have an important job here. When people call in, it costs the office money. So you want to take advantage of that opportunity to get that person in to see your doctor and get them scheduled on the book. It's extremely important. You don't want to take it light. It can be a very, very expensive phone call. So think about it. If this person calls in and we don't handle the call properly, and they, would have been a new patient and would have come in for 25 visits or 10 visits or 12 visits, whatever, the patient needed, that's a significant amount of income that you have denied your office. So we want to take this seriously, and we want to be responsible about this. And we want to make sure that we're practicing this and going over it and making sure that we're doing a great job, because if we have this in, we'll get the majority of the people scheduled and on the books. And that's what we want to do here with this. So I want to make sure that you guys understand that your attitude is extremely important. Understand the importance of that phone call. Make sure that you're thinking with, okay, this phone's going to ring today, and I have to have this script down, and I have to be on top of this to make sure that I get every call that comes into this office scheduled. And you'll get some difficult questions. How much is the first visit? What kind of insurance do you take? And we're going to give you all the tools to handle those things. You'll see them on your scripts, and we're going to go through that. We're going to make sure that we're making the best out of this time together. Make sure we're training on this. We're going over it. I want you guys to drill it too with each other. Between these training calls, just sit down and say, hey, John, I need to go through the phone script real quick. You be the caller. I'll be the receptionist. Go ahead, ring, 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 and just practice it. practice, 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 practice. You'll get it down to a point to where you'll, feel comforting in knowing that the words are there, but you'll know the words, and you'll have it to a point to where you sound very good, very professional, and you'll get the majority of those people that call in on the books. You'll see it works great. You'll never have the situation where you are running around and you're chasing them around and you're trying to answer the questions the way they, feel they, want to be answered. And it can be very frustrating when you get off the phone and you report, yeah, that was a new patient, but I couldn't get them scheduled. That can be hard on the office. So I want to make sure that you guys have the tools and you're doing it so you get the majority of these callers scheduled and on the book. So just to recap what we talked about that first line, how important that is. We talked about your attitude, your tone of voice, also just the awareness of knowing that person who calls in is very important. They take priority. It's a new patient. New patients for your office is a priority. So, and when you get this script down and you have it, you'll be getting the majority of the calls into your office on the book for a patient for a new appointment. Scheduled for a new appointment. So when that person calls in, you want to make sure that you have that greeting down. Your tone of voice is such that you're putting your attention on that person. Hello, thank you for calling the office of Dr. Johns. This is Marty speaking. How can I help you? Another thing, just real quick, I'll put in here, make sure you're not saying it so fast that the person can't understand what you're saying. That's frustrating. I've been on the phone with people before that are talking so fast and I can't even understand what they're saying because they're rushing. I don't want you guys to rush. Make sure when the phone rings, you take a deep breath because it's an important call. Hello, thank you for calling the office of Dr. Martin. This is Mary speaking. How can I help you? Oh, hi, Mary. I want to know what time you're open on Saturdays. Oh, with whom am I speaking to, please? Oh, this is Marty Jones. Hi, Marty. Have you ever been to our office before? No, I haven't. Okay, well, what I'd like to do, and then you go into the next line, and that's where we're going to stop. So make sure you guys have done your training. If you have done your training, make sure you review your training. Make sure that you're taking the time every week to go over the phone script. It's that important. Any one phone call could, be $2,000, $3,000 into your office, literally. So you have to make sure you're putting your attention on those calls like that to make sure that you're getting them scheduled. So put it on your schedule that we're going to do this Tuesdays at 1:30. And we're just going to be going over the different things as far as that are important with the script, making sure you have it down. We're going to be going over some techniques with drilling and things like that, just to make sure that this is in. And you guys are doing a great job answering the phones and getting lots and lots of people scheduled. So then the doctor can put his or her mind at ease, knowing that those people are handled correctly. And I'll even share some things with you with some calls that have been flubbed and, show you as far as, how these calls can cost the office lots of money. So I'm Dr. Rob Mervenko. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.